Hey everyone, so I recently went to the cinema and watched the Oppenheimer and Barbie double feature. I did Barbie first and then Oppenheimer, and I felt like that was the right order to do it in because I see most people doing it Oppenheimer then Barbie, but I knew going into Oppenheimer that it was going to be quite a dense film, and I kind of wanted to end the night on that and then let it simmer without having to rush straight into a super happy film like Barbie. It was an amazing day, both films were amazing, and today's video is basically in honour of the Barbie and Oppenheimer double feature. This is going to be a double feature review, and I'm going to be talking about both films and what I think made both of them great. So Barbie takes place when Barbie and Ken are having the time of their lives in the colourful and seemingly perfect world of Barbie Land. However, when they get the chance to go to the real world, they soon discover the joys and perils of living among humans. This film really surprised me. I originally had very high hopes for it when it got announced, having loved Greta Gerwig's previous work Little Women, but over time these high hopes kind of dwindled, and I'm not sure why. They shouldn't have, because watching this film, it made me remember why I had such high hopes in the first place. And it's just so funny and so refreshing to watch. The performances in this film are great. This is another hit out of the park from Margot Robbie, and she's absolutely fantastic in the lead. I genuinely think that Margot Robbie is a once-in-a-generation star. Everything that she does is just done so well. I can say exactly the same thing about Ryan Gosling, who is just brilliant at everything he does. Drive, Place Beyond the Pines, La La Land, Blade Runner 2049, and now Barbie. It's just such a good track record for both of them. Ryan Gosling is just so unbelievably good in this film, it's actually a joke. Gosling gives a hilarious performance as Ken, displaying once again that he has an eye for comedic timing, which I previously saw in the 2016 film The Nice Guys. I personally would love to see Ryan Gosling in more comedies in the future. I genuinely think these two films are almost locks for Best Supporting Actor, Ryan Gosling in Barbie and Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. Personally, I want Ryan Gosling to win because I do think he was brilliant in this film. I'd also like to give praise to America Ferrera, who brings so much impactful emotion to this film in its later moments. I think the best aspect of Barbie is the design of this film, which is unbelievably well done and should definitely be nominated for Oscars in production design and costume design. I would genuinely be surprised if Barbie doesn't win in these categories. Sarah Greenwood did such an amazing job on production design. Barbie Land looks amazing, with every little detail and prop and colour adding so much more texture to this fantasy world that we are being brought into, and it really makes you feel like you're part of this. The houses are created so brilliantly and look so much like a real Barbie playhouse, encapsulating their unique look. The costume design team did such an amazing job creating this colourful and unique and vibrant wardrobe, which is so distinctive. I assume if these costumes are sold at auctions like I've seen many of the A24 costumes have been, they're going to go for a very, very large amount of money. What I also loved about Barbie is that it surprised me with how much it moved me. It's very obviously a film about feminism. I mean, right from the first few minutes and the opening scene, Greta Gerwig makes that blatantly obvious. Many people may see this as a flaw, but I don't think it impacts the film in any negative way, and I think Greta Gerwig did this completely deliberately and made the message very obvious. Barbie tackles modern day issues such as the gender imbalance, patriarchy, sexism, and how harmful the idea of toxic masculinity is to our culture. However, I think this film is so clever because even though it's very heavily targeted towards women, even if you aren't a woman and you can't empathise with the struggles that Barbie is going through, you can still sympathise with her, and I think this film will move you. It definitely moved me. There's one moment towards the end that genuinely just gave me chills. The song by Billie Eilish is perfect, and the scene is just so serene and beautiful and moving. It's just so good, and I just loved this film. During World War II, Lieutenant General Leslie Groves Jr. appoints physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer to work on the top-secret Manhattan Project. Oppenheimer and his team of scientists spend years developing and designing the atomic bomb. Their work comes to fruition on July 16, 1945, as they witness the world's first nuclear explosion, forever changing the course of history. After seeing all the praise for Oppenheimer prior to me seeing it in the cinema, my excitement skyrocketed. The praise this film is getting is like nothing I'd ever seen before. People saying it was Christopher Nolan's best film, people saying it was maybe the best film of the year, and that most of the cast would be getting nominated for Oscars. And I can safely say that all of this praise is entirely warranted. This is a true spectacle. This film is something that not many filmmakers are capable of doing, and it just proves that Christopher Nolan is a phenomenally talented filmmaker. I think the strongest aspect of this film is without a doubt the performances. Everybody in this super stacked cast embodies their characters so well and gives such strong and rich performances. I actually forgot I was watching a film and just not the real people that this film centers around. Obviously, Cillian Murphy is fantastic and you can't really fault his performance at all. Just the little subtle details like his facial expressions and his eyes convey so much emotion. His physical performance perfectly conveys the regret and dread that comes with the creation and the detonation of this weapon of mass destruction incredibly well. Emily Blunt is truly amazing as well. Such a powerful performance as Oppenheimer's stern and strong-minded wife, Kitty Oppenheimer. She gives one of the best performances I've seen from her, and it's really great. There's one moment where she just takes the reins and just runs with it, and it's just amazing to watch. I'd be very surprised if she doesn't get nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Robert Downey Jr. is also excellent. Like I said before, almost certainly a lock for Best Supporting Actor nomination. I think another aspect of Oppenheimer that deserves an enormous amount of praise is the editing in this film. Jennifer Lame has managed to make what is essentially a 3-hour film of people just talking. There may be 1 or 2 moments where people aren't just having conversations and talking. Jennifer Lame has managed to make this so enjoyable. I strongly believe that this is down to 2 aspects: the editing and the sound of this film. The editing is so well done because the way she edits these conversation scenes makes it feel like an action scene. It gives it its own rhythm, and the way that they run and progress is just so entertaining. They keep you captivated and on the edge of your seat the whole film. And like I said, the other aspect that is executed so perfectly in this film is the sound design. Every piece of music, every boom, every clap of hands is so intense that you can actually feel it. Ludwig Göransson's beautifully stressful score on Oppenheimer is spectacular, and that is the only way I can put it. His music is playing for almost the entirety of the film, and as I mentioned before, this makes even the talking scenes and the scenes where there is so much science and information being hurled at you so much more entertaining. The score also helps captivate the audience and keeps them wrapped up in the 3-hour story and life of Oppenheimer. I also believe that because the score is playing for mostly the whole runtime, it gives the minority of scenes where music doesn't play so much more depth and impact. For example, the Trinity test scene, which is hands down the best scene in the film and is just completely silent, is so engrossing and so powerful. I think it's probably the best scene of a film I've seen this year, and if you ask me at the end of the year, I reckon it will still be up there. The silence in this scene and other scenes is all you can focus on, and in some ways the silence is even louder than the score. It engages you as it almost doesn't feel quite right, as there has been this pumping score vibrating your chair the whole way through the film, and now you're just in silence. There is another moment which I won't spoil, as you definitely need to see this in the cinema, and you need to see this scene, as this scene is quite shocking. The score stops and the audio peaks, and then the audio just stops. It's silence, and like a scream just pierces through the cinema. It's almost something straight from a horror film. The silence in these few moments is just so effective at conveying the dread and the horror on the characters involved. And I think this is Nolan going as close to a horror film as he's ever been before. Not a horror film in the sense that it's scary or jump scares. It's sort of an existential horror film. It's a film that is scary to really think about what it's saying and the way in which the world has progressed and where we are nowadays, and that is the aspect of horror that this film is trying to tackle. Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much for all the praise over the last couple of weeks. These videos have gone up in views so quickly, and the comments you guys are leaving are lovely. I'm sorry for the inactivity. I've just been focusing on schoolwork and getting some of my coursework done. But I'm going to try and do 1 to 2 videos every month for you guys, because I do like making them. So let me know in the comments if you guys watched Barbie and Oppenheimer, what you thought of them. Did you do a double feature like I did? Which one did you like more? I think I liked Barbie more, but Oppenheimer is definitely a better film in my opinion. I think all the aspects are there in Oppenheimer to be a perfect film. Really want to rewatch it. I'll probably do that quite soon. But yeah, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.